Cheese is very important also because low moisture is the key in my eyes, because you ever get a pizza and it's super like watery on the top?
Yeah.
And it's not just grease from the sauce.
That's what I was going to say. I always thought it was grease.
Well, you're getting water and you're getting the grease.
And the water's from the cheese.
Correct. So if you use cheap cheese,
it's going to be watery.
Yeah,
correct.
you have
You're
to
gonna
have
be able to
all
see it.
imported Italian, from Italy, imported cheeses, imported sauce, tomatoes for the sauce.
What's up, Camden County? You are catching episode 36 of the Getting in Your Business podcast. This Getting in Your Business podcast is made possible by our Chairman Circle sponsors, Georgia's Own Credit Union, Comcast Business, Georgia Power Company, Sparklight, Plug Power, St. Mary's DDA, TDS Telecom, and Ameris Bank. All right, guys, I'm your host, Alison Shores from the Camden County Chamber of Commerce, and I have a treat for y'all today. I have some of my favorite people in the studio with us. We have Mike and Mary Rose from the Green Room. Yay! Thank you guys for being here. I'm super excited. Let's just get things started. I know you guys are not from Camden County. Your accents did not give that away at all. But how did you get here to Camden? Mary Rose, I'm going to let you talk about how you got us down here.
Okay. All right. So my husband always said he wanted to move south after Michael went off to college. Mm-hmm. And so we started looking. He never really liked Florida. It was too flat and, strip malls.
Yeah.
And so we started coming down Georgia. The first place we went to was Savannah. Mm-hmm. And it was too far from the airport. It was too crowded, touristy. Yeah. And then there was an article in one of those magazines that say, the top 10 cities to retire. Mm-hmm. And St. Mary's was listed. And so we're like, let's go check it out. We were boaters, and and Cumberland Harbor was just starting to talk about they were going to have a yacht club. And all
it was
that.
Just kind of an idea and kind of laid out. It wasn't,
That's right.
No houses built.
That's right. It was, they didn't even have roads really in there.
Yeah.
So we said, let's go. So we came down and stayed downtown. And we thought the town was really cute, too. And we were from a small little town up in Massachusetts, Westport. So we were like, this feels right. So, but the thing about Cumberland Harbor at the time, there just wasn't much developed or anything. So we're like, no, it's all speculation. And we were ready to make the move. Mm-hmm. So Mary Neff, who...
we love Mary when she had the Spencer house.
When she had the Spencer house, she said, why don't you go to Osprey Cove? And so we ended up there, and we found a lot.
Yeah.
And built a house, and we said, this is where we want to be. And
so what year was that?
That was in 2004.
Okay. All right. 20 years ago.
So we built, we got the lot in 2004 and built. So then by the time we came, it was probably 2005. And then I was working as a hairdresser. Well, actually, I was working in the school system, waiting on my hairdressing license because it's not reciprocal.
Yeah.
So I worked at the middle school, Camden Middle School, for a while. And then once I got my license, I was working at a salon. And Bill Gross was putting that strip mall in out front of Osprey.
Yes, which is beautiful.
Yeah, and he was like, I really think a spa would go nice there. And so he started kind of talking to my husband about it. And I was like, but I'm semi-retired. You work for somebody else and everything. But anyways, that's how it happened. And we just decided to do it. So
and that's how the spa came about.
That's how the spa came about.
Yes. So, okay.
And then I had that for 4 years.
Yes.
And then the space was empty next door. And one night I had this dream, and it was my grandmother, who her restaurant is still in the business, in the family rather, since 1938.
I can't believe that.
It's
like that. I think that's remarkable.
Yeah.
Just that it's lasted that long. It stayed in the family. Yeah. That's incredible.
Yep. And the name of it, it's funny, it's called Shoppers Cafe, because back in the 1930s, it was on the main drag where all the shops were, the big department stores.
Oh, okay.
So it's called Shoppers Cafe, and it's still called that.
Yeah.
So So anyways, she was in my dream with her white apron on, and she had like baguettes of bread and some prosciuttos hanging, and there was a sign, and it said the green room. And I was like, okay, I just got a sign from my grandmother.
Yeah.
And the next day I got up and I was like, that's it. I went and saw Bill Gross, and I said, let's do it. And so decided to open the cafe.
Which is so great. And we are so thankful that your grandmother came to you, because I don't know what we would do without our green room. I'm going to be really honest. It is so good. So Mike, now where did you come in this story?
So I made my way down here in '09.
Okay.
Kind of, my mother needed a little help. I thought I was just going to be doing the bookkeeping, but next thing you know, I'm booking cuts and colors and
All kinds of stuff.
Brazilians,
All the
and,
things.
all that.
Yeah.
It was weird. I had to Google some stuff.
Yeah.
But I kind of just helped there, and then in 2011, the idea came in about the cafe, and my dad, he was like, I just need a place to hang out. Like, are you ready? And I didn't know what I was doing.
Yeah.
I had no clue, no business background. I bust tables when I was 14.
Yeah.
That was my extent of.
Hey, but that's a good way to break you into a restaurant.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he always used to make you cook too, though, at home. Like, he always did a lot of cooking.
Yeah.
I was going to ask, have you always enjoyed cooking?
I have, yep.
Because you're not somebody that's in that restaurant just walking around and talking to people. You're working. Like, you were back there making some stuff, and it is amazing.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
So is pizza your favorite food?
All time
favorite.
When we first opened up, we had a small little pizza oven, and it was more of like a cafe sandwich salad shop.
Yeah.
And then I was like, you know what? Like, I want to really ramp up the pizza, because to me, I think pizza is like, there could be like pizza war, like a legit, like,
yes.
Everybody's in the kitchen making a pizza, and like, I have so much passion behind the pizza, and I was set out to make the best pizza I possibly could, and I really appreciate everybody, and everything you've done for us, and I thank you.
Listen, you don't need to thank me. You have an incredible product that sells. Like, I want it. I want it all. I want to take everybody to it. But you have this shirt that I always see that says "What recipe" on the back. So, like, tell me the story behind all that.
So Sicilians have this way of, we don't have a recipe. We just just throw a little here, a little there.
You let the ancestors tell you when to stop.
Correct.
Yeah.
And so when I started learning the marinara sauce that my dad made, I would be standing behind him at the green room, and I was like, can you write this down? He was like, no, stand right here, right here. And he was like, what? Like, just see what's in my hand. And I'm like, and it took a while. And, the kids that I'm teaching now to make it, they're like, well, how much? I'm like, just stand here and watch me, and they laugh, but like, you can tell if it's a little, like, I can tell, I know other people can't, but like, it's a little off, I'm like, hey, you need to add a little more of this, or, so.
Your dad would be so proud.
Yeah.
Look at you.
Honestly, I would love to see his reaction to where we are now than, when he passed away in 2017, and that's the one thing
he's looking down, he's like, yes, that's it.
Probably yelling at me still.
Yeah. So I just want to recap that. And your sauce is homemade. Yeah. It's not some prepackaged thing that you have going on.
We use it on everything. We use it on pizza. I know a lot of, when I first started, doing, because when we first opened, we did Sicilian. It was thicker. It came, the bakery would deliver it. It was just a shell. And, it was good, but it just didn't sell as well as like the New York thick style.
Yeah.
And we experimented. We have a dough recipe, but the water here is just it's not good in my opinion. I mean, I know a lot of people say the same thing. So
and it's hard, and so that comes with a lot of things that you just can't get around.
And you can put systems in, but we found a company that could
do our recipe.
Yeah, our recipe with New York style water. And we can get it delivered.
Isn't that funny?
So
that
I was like,
that makes a difference. The water from different. Yeah. I would never, in my mind, that wouldn't make a difference. Water is water, but it does.
100%. And we're from Mass, so Mass and New York's rival. But I will say right now that New York has better bread and dough and pizza
because of the water.
Yes.
Huh. Learned something today. Mm-hmm. Okay. So, so we talked about the dough. What about the cheeses?
So the cheese is very important also because low moisture is the key in my eyes, because you ever get a pizza and it's super like watery on the top.
Yeah.
And it's not just grease from the sauce.
That's what I was going to say. I always thought it was grease.
Well, you're getting water and you're getting the grease.
And the water's from the cheese.
Correct. So if you use cheap cheese,
it's going to be watery.
Yeah, correct. You have to have all imported Italian, from Italy, imported cheeses, imported sauce, tomatoes for the sauce.
I say this all the time, that we have such incredible people in our community that bring their talents, their passions, their family stuff. They bring it for our community. So our business community is literally putting everything on the table to bring, us. For y'all, it's this pizza, this food that's just comfort food, that's family food, that's traditional, that's it's so good. And I think y'all are just a prime example of that. I mean, look at the care that you're taking to bring your product here. You're not taking the cheap way. You're not taking the easy way. I mean, you could easily just buy some marinara and buy cheese that's, just regular cheese, just whatever. You could do all that, but you don't. And you can taste the difference. I know on Wednesdays when we take our military tour in there, the one thing they always say to me, what is this cheese? This cheese is the best cheese I've ever had on a pizza. What is this cheese? And I'm like, listen, it's called the green room. That's because that's the only answer I have. Now I've learned a lot today.
Well, there's one other thing too, is our wines. They're Sicilian wines. And they're farmed organically. And I met the guy, we went to the winery in Sicily and chose these wines because they don't have the heavy sulfates like a lot of other wines do. So, people can drink a bottle of it and they're like, oh, I don't get a headache. But the difference is they're farmed organic wines.
Listen, you just opened up my brain to a whole lot of things. I feel... Okay, wine without a headache. Hey.
Yes. Right.
So question with that, are y'all going to do some more wine nights and stuff? Are those in the future? I know we've done them in the past.
Yeah, we're going to, December's just crazy.
Yeah.
Probably January or early spring.
Yeah.
We have a lady, is she the district manager of the state. We met her through the wine company, but she's from Mass, and so we kind of
had a connection. Hit it off. Yeah.
So she was like, "I will do your wine tastings. Just let me know whenever." And she's so knowledgeable, and I mean that takes so much off of my plate because I just have to make the food, and she sells the wine. Or it's a good relationships are hard to find, and when you get one like that, you have to really hold on. And speaking of good people, you also have really great people that work with you at the Green Room. Dallas, of course, is one of my favorites, but they take such good care, and they all work together, and they're all showing up for their shifts, and
they're like family.
They are, but I can tell that they feel that way with you guys, and so that's what I think is so neat. You guys are a family, and so I just appreciate that, and I love it. Something else I wanted to talk about. I know that when you think Italian, you're thinking more the marinara and stuff, but you have some good Alfredo sauce. Can we just touch on that for just a second? So yeah, I think that
it's an underrated dish on the menu.
For sure.
You know, I took this opportunity to really throw it out there. Yeah, I mean, it's a lot of people see broccoli because it's a chicken, and that was another one of my dad's recipe. Chicken broccoli ziti, it's called. But he always did it with olive oil, white wine. But I know Alfredo is people just love Alfredo.
Yeah.
So we do it with the Alfredo. But you know, you can get it without broccoli. You know, a lot of people. I mean, chicken and pasta Alfredo is my favorite. You know, growing up, and so I think that I think people should give it a try.
Oh, absolutely. And you home make it. Like, come on, gotta try it. What's your favorite thing, Mary Rose?
I would probably have to say I really like the pizza too.
You like the pizza?
Yes. Yeah.
I know we were talking earlier. My husband loves it. Like, he had a leftover piece. I don't know if it was from one of our Wednesdays or something. It was just a cheese slice, maybe in 2 slices in the box. That was it. Yeah. And he's like, I'm just going to heat this up, you know. He was like, what is this? This is just a cheese reheated pizza, and it's amazing. Yes. He was like, what does he do to this pizza? And I'm like, I don't know.
I do. I love the pizza.
It is really good.
The cutlets.
Yeah.
Cutlets, you know, chicken parm.
Well, something else that I love you guys do, you bring some of, I guess, being in Mass, like, you bring some stuff with you. You have the lobster rolls.
Oh, yes.
What else do we have? I feel like y'all bring stuff back. There was a chowder one time. I don't know if it was a clam chowder or something that you brought.
Yeah.
All that. My husband loves, I'm a picky eater, and I have to tell everybody that, but he like loves that lobster roll. Yeah. He was like, I've never had one. I haven't ever even seen one before I got here. So I didn't know anything about a lobster roll. So how often do you guys do that?
I want to start doing it more often, but it's a very hard item. We literally had to build a clientele to have it as a special, because, you know, I just remember when we first did it, it was like I would sell 10 in a week, and I'm like, well, this is gonna be sustainable.
Because people didn't know what it was.
Exactly.
And you know, it is expensive, but I mean, it's expensive.
100% worth it.
And if you know anything about lobster, it's tough to get it.
Yes, and it's cheap. But it's good. Like, your sandwich is good. It's not, I mean, you bring quality stuff to the table, and that's just so amazing. And something else I want to say while we're on here, Mike, you put up with me in a lot of, I know you had to see me weekly for the military tour, but, you know, you're also so willing to do whatever I ask in the community, whether I need 15 pizzas when you first get back from your birthday, like whatever it is I need, you know, you're you're just so giving and so willing to help out wherever. And I just want to say thank you. And our community, I know, thanks you. We're so glad you guys are here. So thank you for everything that you do in our community, because you do a whole lot. And we just really appreciate it. You're always there when we're always asking for stuff. So I just appreciate you very, very much.
I learned that from my mother. She is the most giving person.
You know what's funny is I actually heard, I can't remember who I was talking to, but we were talking all things small business. And it was, I think after you guys had won Small Business of the Year, they said, well, Mary Rose is like Miss Small Business. Like, she's, so for you to say that you didn't know how to do the business part of a salon and stuff, people don't see you that way. They think you are all small business, like you're all about it. So, I don't know where I was going with that, but it's just funny that's what people think about you, you know?
Right. Yeah.
So you're very, very giving in this community. I know that even when you decided to close down the spa, that there was another business here that you just helped open right back up, and here's another one, all your stuff. So it's just so cool. Yeah. Was there anything else you guys wanted to talk about? I feel like I've kind of sped through this, and
I just want to give my wife a shout out, because my attention, all of my attention would not be on the green room if it wasn't for her.
Well, Christina is amazing. I got to meet her, I guess, after you won the award. We had, seen each other, had mutual friends, but just never really. And I loved being around her. So your whole family has been nothing but amazing. So yes. And Christina's a big cheerleader for you as well. Like, she loves her mic. So,
She is.
yeah, we're excited.
I was so glad that she was able to go that night because I had company coming into town, and I was like, I have 2 tickets. I'd really love you to go. I didn't even know that he was getting an award.
I know. I had kept that secret for quite some time.
I know. So,
Ooh, yes.
yeah, so I was so glad that she was able to be there.
Yes,
and
me
she
too.
FaceTimed me.
I wish you could have seen his face when he, like, they're reading it, and I'm waiting for him to figure out that it's him, because he's not there for that.
Yeah.
And finally, he's like, "Oh."
Yeah, I think it was recipe. I think it was like old family recipe.
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh, the light.
Yeah. Well, we're so glad to have you here. If you haven't had a chance to check out Green Room, you need to, for sure. It is the best, located right in front of Osprey Cove. I don't know if people know this, but that part is open to everybody. It is not part of the gated part. You can't get in there. It's just, you have to check out the Green Room. Thank you guys for being here today. I really appreciate it. Mary Rose, I didn't give you a chance. Was there anything you wanted to say before we?
No, that's it. I mean, I appreciate the Chamber of Commerce too.
Oh.
Believe me.
Yes. Well, we appreciate you guys.
You guys have done a lot too with both my businesses.
We appreciate you.
Yeah.
Thank you. All right. Well, guys, you've caught episode 36 of the Getting in Your Business podcast. Please subscribe.